Okay, this is how to fill out a contract for a gig. We have an email here. Somebody's ready to go with their party, launch party. And first thing I want to do is go over to Google Docs, go down to the events folder on the left, and in there will be a contract template. It says contract template. We open that up, and we're going to go over here to File menu, and we're going to say make a copy. We're going to rename that. Here it says click OK to copy the collaborators or cancel to just copy the document. I'm going to click cancel. Then I'm going to rename it here. So temporarily allow scripted windows. Click on this thing here where it says copy of contract template, or you can go into the file menu and click rename. We're going to put the date first. So 11/12/2009. And then the client, which is Charles Clark, and I'm going to put party. Okay. And then we go through and basically replace everything in this. So name of artist is going to be the strings attached, just strings attached, like that. Purchaser of music, I go back to the email. I know that it is Charles Clark, so and I'm going to put their email and phone number in here. It's really good to be as specific and have as much information in this contract as possible. And I want to mention that while I'm thinking about it, to document as much as you can in the log, the event log. But first, let's fill out this contract. So going back to the email, okay, is here. Selecting that. I go select, copy. Back to the contract, put a comma. Okay. And I'm going to pause this and come right back. So I was heading back over to the email to find the phone number, and I had to scroll all the way down to the original inquiry to get the phone number. So there's the phone number. And one thing also I wanted to mention, going back to the contract, is that make sure that these numbers 1, 2, 3 stay the same. Sometimes they'll get off, so just watch that very carefully. Okay, I'm going to fill the rest of this in and I'll be right back with you. Okay, I just noticed this is at the Shoreline Grill. That's the place of engagement, and I don't have the address. So I can go up here and create a new tab real quick and Google that address. Shoreline Grill, Austin, Texas. See the address right here? Copy that. And the zip code 78701. Okay, so I'm going to copy the address and just memorize the zip code. Go over here, put a comma, 78701, Austin, Texas. Whoops. Okay, pause. Okay, I'm back. Let's discuss each one of these lines. Okay, number 4, address of engagement, specific as possible. Austin, Texas, 78701. Date of engagement, got that from the email, November 12th. Hours of engagement, 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. Make sure you put p.m. Price agreed upon, in parentheses, put the total, and then half of that amount is going to be the retainer, and then half is going to be after wedding and cash money or money order. Other details is where we put the exact ensemble size. Here it's an 8-piece ensemble, and a lot of times to help remind me, when I'm doing this gig and getting ready, I need to know what music we're bringing. So if the client has any specific requests or any other details, we'll put that right here, featuring music of the Beatles, Stevie Wonder, and Zeppelin. Anything that is miscellaneous can go in that area. Load in, I already checked, and I'll put that in, 5:15 p.m. Now, let me just give you some general guidelines. If we're doing a wedding, if the wedding's ceremony starts at 6 p.m., you want to remind the client in general that we play 15 to 20 minutes of prelude music. So that would mean we'd be starting at 5:40 p.m. And for load-in, we need to have access to the site an hour before that. So by 4:40 is what we want to put for load-in for a wedding ceremony. Now, if it is a reception, we need a lot more time. We need at least 2 hours to get in and set up our PA system. So you want to back up. You can see here we're starting at 7 p.m. and I backed it up. I found out the earliest I could get in there was 5:15. Normally I'd want 5 p.m. to get in. And I think that covers everything. Okay, actually scroll down at the bottom, and where it says Will Taylor, signature of artist, you want to put in today's date. That acts as my signature right there. And the next thing you do is you go over here and you save the contract. And if you're doing this for me, I want you to shoot me an email so that I, Will Taylor, can check over, make sure everything looks okay before sending it out. Once I okay the contract and say it's ready to go out, then you're going to generate a link for them to see this contract. What you do is you go over here to the share button in the right-hand corner, click share. It'll say get the link to share. And you click here, allow anyone with a link to view and also allow them to edit. So you go here, share this link, copy this URL, paste it into an email to the client. In this case, I'm going back over here, and I'm going to respond to Charles Clark with an email and say, here's your contract. So paste it in there. Oh, it didn't work. Let's go back over and get that URL again. Okay, here we go. I'm going to Control-C to copy that. That should do it. Go back over here. Okay, there's the link. You can also select this whole field or this whole sentence. If I want to make that a link, I just click this little link button right here and insert the link in there. That gives them two options of clicking in case this really long link doesn't work and it becomes malformed. Okay, so then I'll say, please look over and let me know if you need to change or have any questions. And I always put all the best. So here's your contract. Please look over and let me know if you need to change anything or have any questions. Okay, so I'm sending that to the client. I'll put in the contract field, contract for your event. Boom, I sent it. Now I go to the log over here, event status log, and I look up the event, which is not here. So let me do that really quick. Okay, I entered the information on this gig, November 12th, 2009. It is pending until the contract, which is signed, and deposit, or retainer actually, are received. So even though this guy said, hey, we're ready to book you, send the contract, it's still pending until I get the contract signed and the retainer. So I put no retainer received. Players needed, that's what you would put into the invite. And private data, which is just for here. Don't put that in anything in an email. It's only going to be in the contract, this private data deal. Then I put a note here that I sent the contract. I'm awaiting the retainer and also sent player invites to help remind me to look and make sure I have players booked for that gig. So I've logged everything here and I did the contract over here. I'm going to save and close the contract. And if you notice, if I go to the events folder here, it should come up right here. If I reload this page, it should come up. I didn't put it in the event folder, so I'm going to go back to all items on the left. Here's the Charles Clark. I click that, drag it over on top of events, and now it's in the events folder. And you can see on the right here where I'm motioning, it's showing that it's in the event. Where is that? Right here. It's in the event folder. Okay, what else? Event status log. I can just close that now. I'm done. It'll save automatically. And I think we've covered how to do a basic contract, send it to the client, and that's how we do it. Again, you can reach me at 775-2371 or will@willtaylor.com if you have any questions. That's it for now.